Welcome to our introduction to automobile industry. If you are interested in automotive engineering and really passionate about it and want to join an automobile industry and make career in auto industry, this course could be very interesting for you. In this program, I just gave an overview of four-stroke engine, which is commonly used, and four-cylinder engine inline I've taken just for example. There are a lot of six-cylinder, eight-cylinder V engines are also used in car quite extensively for higher power. I will take you through the journey of four-stroke cycle, how engine generates power, the various components and the parts that makes an engine, how engine generates power, the four-stroke, how the whole thing that you've studied in four-stroke engine, four-stroke cycle, how they're translated in reality. I have been quite fortunate to work in an automobile industry as my first job, and I was quite passionate about it. And at this point of time, I would like to very sincerely acknowledge the contribution of two extraordinary mentors, one Mr. A.K. Mitra and Mr. Malik, who was working in Hindustan Motors in 1986 when I joined. Practically, they knew everything about Ambassador and Contessa. They're the most knowledgeable people in automobile industry I've ever met. They were kind of my mentor and gurus, and I had the privilege to work with them for a short while and immensely gained from their shared experience. So I thought it will be very interesting if I create a course based on the knowledge to preserve this acquired knowledge in the industry, which will be a very practical guide for you to prepare yourself for automobile industry. To join an automobile industry, you need a very good understanding of the automobile engineering, the technical side of it. But that's only one part of it. You need to understand the management system involved in car making. When I've joined Hindustan Motors in 1986, 1st January, at the time there was no international standard, but I was very fortunate to work with a Japanese team of engineers coming from Isuzu. At the time, we had collaboration for Contessa, where we were using Isuzu engine and the gearbox. So that learning was pre-ISO 9001 standard introduction, when it was 1987 when ISO 9000 standard was introduced. But the ISO 9000 standard has actually taken lots and lots of input and knowledge from proven practices, best practices the Japanese have already practiced, and the enormous amount of the work done by the quality gurus, Dr. Deming, Dr. Juran, and later on Professor Ishikawa from Japan. And those people have actually enriched the world, and those knowledge actually came in ISO standard. As we gained more and more knowledge, QS 9000 was introduced, which was a standard for automotive industry, or ISO standard more applied for automobile industry. Later on, IATF was formed, International Automotive Task Force, led by Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler, the three big names in auto industry. They have developed a standard called IATF 16949, which is founded on ISO 9001 2015, with additional requirement more necessary or customized for automobile industry. So ISO standard 9001 is generic. IATF 16949 is more specific to auto industry, or application of ISO 9000 in auto industry you can call IATF 16949. It's one of the most popular standard. So I will give a small brief of these management system standard, which will immensely benefit you. So in this program, my focus would be to give a very short and practical and crisp program so that you know how cars are made from, say, press shop to body shop, paint shop, assembly, which is body trim assembly and car line, then testing and final view. I was also fortunate to work with the servicing department in Hindustan Motors. And that's where I really learned. I used to work for more than 15, 16 hours, as a normal duty was 8 hours, but I could have access to other department because I was working in a department called QARD, Quality Assurance and Reliability Department. And because of my love and passion for the subject, I used to go to servicing where I could see the engines are open, gearboxes are open, and then our instructors and mentors like A.K. Mitra, Mr. Malik, they used to explain how different mechanism works and if you get an abnormal noise and where is it coming from, what can go wrong, how a synchromesh gear works, how gearbox is aligned with the clutch, how power is transmitted from engine to the gearbox to the clutch and goes to the differential, how differential works, how the brake system works, how hydraulic system works, how steering mechanism works. So I'm going to discuss all of them briefly. And in the process, there are a lot of videos available in public domain in these days. I've taken some of these videos for educational purpose, and I would like to give credit to all those developers and thank them for their generous work in placing them in public domain. So this is for educational purpose. I've taken brief of them, and since they're available in public domain today, these are available. In our time when we started our career, this was not there, so you can immensely gain from those videos and open source informations. So as I said, I will divide this program on technical aspect and management aspect, and by the end of the program you will have a complete understanding of how a car is made and how a modern car manufacturing company really works. I have tremendous respect for Toyota. They are one of the role model companies in the world. They've got outstanding principles and practices they have brought, which benefited the whole world. So I will talk about a little bit of Toyota's 14 principles, and I will try to link them with quality management principles, 7 quality management principles that actually has been the foundation for ISO 9001 standard. I'll talk about how initial days cars were made, for example, in Henry Ford, a Ford company formed, established by Henry Ford in US, how they are making car. I was quite fortunate to visit Ford factory in Detroit in Michigan, and I had some pictures with some of the cars, very popular car in the world. One of the car was 50 millionth car, was made all black. It is kept in Automotive Hall of Fame in Detroit in the Henry Ford. So, and those days how Ford used to make car, and today how companies are making car. Those days productivity was the key, and higher productivity, mass production was the focus. Today the focus has shifted to more of customization and individual choices and bespoke car. So your car is going to be your unique car. So for example, the car that you can see here is a Rolls-Royce Ghost, and this car can be customized with the color, with the trim, with the two-tone colors. The bumper could be one color, the body could be one color, the roof can have another color. You have different types of trims inside the car. Steering could be very unique, and all those kind of wonderful things. It is one of the most iconic car in the world, and I really, really adore such kind of wonderful companies, and they make outstanding machines in the world. So you can learn from them. So when Henry Ford had a very popular quote, any customer can paint his car with any color he wants, so long it is black. In other words, you want white, you get black only. You can Paint your car with any color you want, so long it is black. It's a very interesting way of telling that you get only black, because that time the changing of paint system was so difficult, so it will waste so much of time. People are waiting for months, possibly years, after paying full amount of money for their car. So the black car is iconic at that point of time. They don't really care about red car with a leather trim, which is a leather color or black. So they are happy with getting the car. So that time the focus was on mass production. And Henry Ford also introduced the conveyor system, and they were making huge number of cars per day. In our time, when I joined Hindustan Motors in 1986, we are making around 100 ambassador cars per day and 10 number of Contessa Classic. That was the total output of our number of cars. So, but if we produce less than that, the life would be hell, because our president would have his the information channel, how many cars you have made this hour. So per day 100 car target has to be achieved. That is the kind of break-even number to make sure that the company is sustainable and profitable enough. So I will talk about those things and my journey today. Now, whatever I learned from this industry, I would try to bring it in this course, so that this knowledge is preserved and you get the benefit from my shared knowledge. I would also like to remember my first boss, Mr. B.K. Satapathy, who was an outstanding person, and Mr. Chaudhuri, Engineer Chaudhuri, was the Deputy Controller of Quality Assurance and was driving us for making better cars. I genuinely acknowledge my thanks for their contribution. So, with this short introduction, let's begin. I'm so sorry to say that Hindustan Motors is closed now. There is a lot of emotional connection with the Indians on Indian Road and Ambassador. I hear that Renault has taken it over and they're coming up with newer models. And I'll be very, very happy to see that the iconic Ambassador is back to the road once again. And it had been my dream to buy an Ambassador car when I was a young engineer, and I was making a lot of noise that this is not acceptable, that is not acceptable. So our production guys used to say that, Racer, when you are buying, we'll make a very, very special car for you. And at the time, it was a beyond our dream to buy a car. Now I think we can think of buying a car, and to buy an Ambassador would be a dream come true. So I wish the company comes back. And in one of the program, I'm also trying to bring in those informations. In my view, what led Hindustan Motors closed down when the Toyota was established, a contemporary at the almost at the same point of time, they became a world leader. So what went wrong in Hindustan Motors and what made Toyota today? So in our session, which talks about the car manufacturing process, Toyota production system, and quality management system in an auto industry, I'll talk about those principles. I would like to talk about also Lean and Six Sigma, which would be very, very interesting for you to prepare yourself for a great career. Get your dream job, and I wish you all the best. Let's begin. So, introduction to automotive industry. The learning objective: you gain insight and an understanding of an automobile industry, and you prepare yourself for a great career and job. Gain understanding of various systems that makes an automobile and how they work. For example, how a car is made, body is made, how engines are made, how gearboxes are made, how they work, how the clutch mechanism works, how brake system works, how differential works, and all those mechanisms. This is about 16 hours duration. It might be more, little more. I will have an overview of IC engine, a history of automobile starting from Ford, General Motors, and Ferrari, Rolls-Royce. Some of the information I'll share. How Toyota makes car and Toyota production system, the lean manufacturing process, which was conceptualized by Taichi Ono from Toyota, and the concepts of Six Sigma. And as I said, I will show you some of the videos how a car is manufactured from scratch to finish, and different processes and mechanisms, and IATF 16949 and ISO 9001 and IATF 16949. There'll be open quiz and an examination. You are going to get an ISET US accredited CEU continuous education unit. At the end of the program, there will be written test online, which will be proctored by our system. We are using a software called Classmarker, which is an AI-driven online proctoring system, is inbuilt in the examination platform. It's basically open book exam, and you are going to refer the notes that you have taken during this course, and also other standards like ISO 9001, IATF 16949. 70% is the pass mark set. Once you score 70%, the certificate will be instantly in your email. You are going to get a certificate with ISET accredited CEU, which is called Continuous Education Unit 1.6, is equivalent to 16 hours structured learning. ISET is the most respected accreditation body from US. They are into accreditation of educational institutions since 1968 or around that time. One of the most leading and respected body from US. And if you go through their site iset.org, iset.org, you will find the world-class companies, world's leading bodies are accredited by them. And I'm proud to say that TCB is one such organization accredited by ISET. We are also approved by IRCA, CQI IRCA UK as an approved training partner. So our certification, the training that we give meets the demanding standard of ISET and CQI IRCA and recognized all over the world. So the certification that we grant is valid all over the world and would help you to build your career and get your job. Let's begin and let's have some fun.